So let me fast forward now to the moment you decide, okay, with your co-founder, you're getting into the startup world. You have this idea for Squire. You see this market. Like, walk me through like your first, few months. Like, what were some of the things you said? Like, I gotta knock off on my action plan. Walk me through your journey that first few months, which are so critical.
Yeah, the first few months was a lot of trying to validate some of the ideas and assumptions and basically the hypothesis that we had about the market, trying to validate that as much as possible with as much evidence as we could gather. And early days when you don't have an actual product to put in front of users and to see if they'll pay for, you really just have to do whatever else you can. So for us, that was a lot of talking to potential customers, walking into barbershops, observing, getting haircuts and services we didn't need just to get in front of the barbers and kind of ask them questions. And then, doing surveys, the simple Google form survey, having as many fill it out as possible. Things like that. It seems like maybe not the biggest thing to do, but it actually, in the early days, is at least, propelling you forward. You're doing something that's like giving you more information and helping you validate what you think the market wants and what the customer actually wants. And you'll learn a ton, just spending as much time as possible, understanding their pain points, like what don't they like about their business, where's the friction. That's something that really only the founders can do in the early days. So that's that. We did as much as that as possible. And then the next phase was, okay, now we think we have a good idea of what they want, what they need, how to rebuild it. And then that was kind of the second phase of challenges.
So, because I would imagine there wasn't data readily available on the barbershop industry. So you're kind of, doing it the old school way, which is like going into these barbershops and, getting haircuts, a lot of haircuts and getting info. And would you say that was there enough evidence there to suggest that you could move forward, or was there still a bit of a leap of faith you had to make and say, what, we think there might be an opportunity here, but we're still not 100% sure? What was your certainty like?
I mean, there's never enough evidence, and to your point, the data, even now, there's not a lot of great data. Actually, we are Squire now.
You are the data.
The source of data. That's the data I trust now. It's our own data. But at the time, I remember if you Googled number of barbershops in the U.S., there was this like Bureau of Labor Statistics link, and it said something like 4,000 barbershops. And it was so frustrating that like every time we'd have an investor meeting, that's the first thing they would say. It was like, well, I see there's only 4,000 barbershops, and you're like, how could that there's 4,000 barbershops in Brooklyn. Like more than that. Actually, like, how could that be the whole U.S.? It was ridiculous. But no, you never have enough data to give you 100% certainty. There's always going to be that leap, and the job of the entrepreneur is to make decisions and take actions, based on not having, full data and not knowing for sure that you're making the right move. And some of it is intuition and just giving it, your best guess based on what you do know. But I had super high conviction based off my own experience and then based off talking to all these customers that there was an opportunity that wasn't being met. And based on that, we decided to go forward and start the company.
So